And here in Portland, an emergency declaration. City leaders announcing plans for 4 more Safe Rest Village sites to serve the homeless. At 5 o'clock, I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Elizabeth Din. The announcement comes 8 months after the Safe Rest Villages were approved. And at this point, still not a single one exists. Our Dan Tilkin here now to break down the changes in all this. Dan?
So here's what we knew as of this morning. There were 3 proposed sites. Here they are, the one at Sears Armory here, and then in downtown, then all the way out here at Menlo Park and Ride. Well, after this morning, what happened, they added 4 more sites. We've got one here in northwest Portland. We've got one in North Portland, then this one by the airport, and then this one down here in southeast Portland. Now, it seems like there might be 7 sites now. Well, you have to keep in mind that there's a pre-existing camp that's being moved from inner east side to downtown, so you really don't gain any capacity here. But this is still an important development for the city's efforts to tackle homelessness and something that's taken a very long time.
Okay, we're going to hear from you in just moments from now with a special investigation into these Safe Rest Village sites, Dan, so stand by.
And next, we want to go to our Elise Haas joining us now as the mayor tries to speed up this process. Elise, what did you find out?
So the mayor has done an emergency declaration that gives Commissioner Dan Ryan the authority to cite these Safe Rest Villages, remove the bureaucratic red tape, and expedite the permitting process. Commissioner Dan Ryan says that he wants these Safe Rest Villages to be managed and be a place for people living on the streets to sober up and get the mental and behavioral health and addiction services that they so desperately need. Now, these will not be tent villages, to be clear, but managed tiny house villages or areas for parking for RVs with electricity, running water, and bathrooms. And Dan Ryan says that this transitional housing will be for about 50 to 60 people per village.
We're projecting that a villager will be on site for 6 to 9 months. And so just know there's that rotation. Let's say the average is 50. So that's like 300. But if you times that by 3, then you get closer to 1,000 in the ratio over a 3-year period.
So here's one of the new sites on Sunderland Avenue by the airport. This is going to be for RV parking. There will be 150-foot camping ban around the perimeter of all of the villages to be a buffer for the neighborhood and for the villagers as well. Now, the next steps is that Dan Ryan's office is going to be stepping into good neighborhood agreements with the immediate neighbors and also the stakeholders. Dan Ryan's office says that these Safe Rest Villages will all be up and running this year. Live in Southeast Portland, Elise Haas, KOIN 6 News.
Elise, thank you. And the first of these sites was supposed to be up and running months ago. So tonight we ask what happened. And our special report is Portland over. Dan is back now. You've been investigating this. And you say this has really been a big headache for the city.
Well, yeah, the original plan passed back in June was meant to have all 6 sites built by the end of last year, but we're still months away from seeing any of them finished. Maybe today's announcement will change things, but so far it's just another example of why the city that works is having such a hard time fixing its epidemic of problems.
Open area over here.
The city of Portland wants to put a Safe Rest Village here, in the parking lot of the former Sears Armory near Multnomah Village. There will be about 30 pods, similar to communities built at the start of the pandemic on Portland's Inner East Side and Old Town. They would come with sanitation and social services to get people in some of the harshest homeless camps back on their feet.
We're concerned about that Portland homeless creep that we see downtown coming out into our neighborhoods.
City Commissioner Dan Ryan, whose brother was homeless and died on Portland streets, is in charge of the plan and has been frustrated with slow progress on the overall crisis.
We can't be in denial any longer. So I would say it's almost like we have addicts and then we have enablers. And that's in a micro level, but it's in a macro level. And the city and the county have become, government and services have been enabling this behavior to persist on our streets. And we have to call it out.
In November, the Multnomah Neighborhood Association learned, without warning, Ryan's office picked the Armory site. Early this month, neighbors voted overwhelmingly to work with the City Housing Bureau and Ryan's office in what's called a Good Neighbor Agreement to get their concerns addressed. And there are very different perspectives on how that evolved.
The Multnomah Village neighborhood, I'm sure you heard they were in pretty big opposition about us citing a village out in their neighborhood. But just recently, they voted 73-20 in favor of moving forward with a good neighbor agreement. And that's because we had a chance to do dialogue.
Do you think it's a case of, well, we can't stop this thing anyway, we better do the best we can to work with it? Is that what you're seeing in your neighborhood?
We certainly got that impression from the community forum with Dan Ryan and his office, that there's not much more we can do to prevent it.
Some neighbors are concerned about noise, trash, crime, and drug and alcohol use, and the selection process.
Dan Ryan's been a bully. Neighbors aren't obstacles. We should be treated as partners in this.
The process was, in my opinion, flawed.
In East Portland, Arlene Kimura and the Hazelwood Neighborhood Association have similar frustrations. After getting no warning, this TriMet Park and Ride at 122nd and East Burnside has been proposed as a safe rest village site. She's concerned plans for 60 pods is too many and will be an invitation for uncontrolled homeless camps to descend on the surrounding area.
When we were over at Multnomah Village, one neighbor described Dan Ryan as a bully.
I think that he is passionate about what he believes in, and he has such fervor that he is not willing to listen to anyone else. And I don't think he intends to be a bully, but I think that is the message that we are receiving from him. That I know best, and you better do what I tell you.
What do you say to them?
I say that when you're a leader at a time like this in a crisis, you have to just take action, and you've got to make Portland a better city. And then we will have actually a system to move people from the streets to stability. I hear what they're saying, but they're also the same people that are complaining that there are too many houseless people in their neighborhoods. And so I have to do something because that's my job.
Opening safe rest villages takes time because they take planning, like negotiating lease agreements, designing layout, and bringing in critical infrastructure like power, water, and sewer. Ryan's office has also had to back off on at least 2 sites, one at 45th and Harney after a KOIN 6 investigation discovered the site is in a flood zone. In January, Ryan's office also tried to use a Portland public school site. But what happened to that idea is an example of why Ryan's office won't release a list of potential sites they're considering.
Before you know it, it was leaked and the whole neighborhood came unglued. And we hadn't even had a dotted line verbal agreement with PPS that was a viable spot. So we were ended up spending so much time on nothing.
It seems like a reasonable place to put it.
Overlooking the Armory site, you will find neighbors on Ryan's side, like Kelvin Helgeson.
I'm not concerned about noise, and I'm not concerned about safety. I have 2 young children, and I'd rather them grow up in a society that takes care of the most vulnerable.
I think what it fundamentally comes down to is just fear of that unknown. And if we can get those answers to that fear and start to mitigate the impact that this Safe Rest Village could potentially have in our community, I think we'll accept it.
And we have plenty of work to do, but one thing that isn't an option for me is to do nothing and continue on the same slow pace that we've been on.
So Dan Ryan told me it'll be 4 to 6 months before these safe rest villages are open. Arlene Kimura, president of the Hazelwood Neighborhood Association, told me she will not be surprised if most of the sites are not open before next winter.
Okay, Dan Ryan up for a re-election in the May primary here. So folks really paying attention to this. But when we take all these safe rest site villages together, how many people will they house, serve?
The overall scheme of things, not a lot. So I have a document that shows about 360 units. Some of these units can have 2 people. So just to kind of drop in the bucket, but that's not static. So people will come in, get their lives back together, move on, and move them through, hopefully.
Okay, we'll continue to follow this really closely. Dan, thank you.
Thank you, Dan.